Hey everybody, how are we doing? So, we're getting ready to open up the doors to the Class Business Awards. It's the nomination launch party, and you're going to be behind the scenes of me launching it. So, at the moment, we have makeshift pile of books as a stand, because in my other office, I used to have a up and down desk, so I could move things up and down when I wanted to, because I don't like sitting down when I'm launching. I like to be able to move around, but I decided not to have that in here because it just takes up so much room. Really, I need to buy an up and down desk. Anyway, so I've had to do a makeshift stand because here's said script for launch. Facebook page is set up live on the tripod. And down here, I've got my monitor, but usually, again, I would have it at eye level so I can see at the same time. And the reason I have it on two screens is because when people comment on the lives, you don't always see them on the mobile phone. So I always have them on my monitor as well, so I can see who's commenting and who's getting involved in the conversation. Otherwise, sometimes you can just be like talking on your own and not know who's online because it doesn't always show you. So, anyway, we have 3 minutes to go time. Get yourself psyched up. Usually I would have had a gin and tonic, but no gin and tonic because I may go out to get a takeaway after this. Anyway, quick story before we go live, which I think is quite funny. We've been getting HelloFresh meals delivered to the cottage for the last few weeks. Now, they've never delivered up here for donkey's years, and they've only just started delivering, and I was so excited because I was like, yes, it means I don't have to cook anymore. Anyway, I'm in the kitchen this week, sorting out the fridge, and I found this. Now, it does look a little bit weird, but it was a courgette. And I said to my kids now, who's put that in the fridge? Now, the week before, we had courgettes in our meals, and I can only feel like that this was delivered in the box. It's wood. It's wood, and somebody's had a nibble on it. So I may use this in the launch today. I'm not sure. But I was literally like, why? Plastic, wood thing in my HelloFresh box delivery. So I've got to get in touch with customer services and sort out how the hell that got into the delivery box. Anyway, 1 minute to go, my friends. Let's see how this goes. Eek, eek, eek. Now, usually I would have some music, but again, you can't have any music because Facebook picks up any of the music and then it stops showing your live to everybody. So another reason not to have music, which is a real shame because I always love having a little bit of music on my launches, but not today. So let's see how this session goes and how many people show up. It is Friday, it is 5 o'clock. So I'm not expecting loads of people, but I didn't want to do an evening live. So here we go. Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? So excited for the Class Business Awards launch party. Okay, so we have just wrapped up the launch. Yeah, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed that. Do you know what? I haven't been live properly for ages because I've been so knee deep, as you know, in building the tech and building the platform. And it's been a lot, like I've just said. But I love going live and I love running online events. It's like one of my favorite things to do. because you can tell, like, it just gets my energy up. I love helping people. So grateful to everyone that showed up tonight because they're giving up their time to come and like watch me. And it is really, really appreciated. But I love hosting my live events and can't wait to get going them again, because we're going to be hosting the Market Like a Pop Star 4-day challenge in end of April. And we've got our Booked and Ready event. So I will be hosting loads of live events throughout the year because that's what I love doing. I love doing that. But anyway, I'm going to skedaddle now because what I need to do now is get everything live on social media, get the email out to tell everyone. And obviously, let's see what happens now. So we opened up the doors to nominations on Friday. So the Class Business Awards are officially open. And we launched on Facebook, hosted an event there, which you saw behind the scenes of. And the nominations have already started to come in, which is amazing. We've been getting nominations every single day. However, my friends, now the work begins, because we're not just going to sit and wait for people to apply for an award. Hope is not a strategy. My friends, hope is not a strategy. We actually have to put in place a growth strategy. And while I'm out walking today, I'm going to walk you through it, because whether you're filling your classes, selling events, launching a digital product, launching principles apply. And I'm going to walk you through what I'm doing for the Class Business Awards so you can think about how you could apply this to your business. So, the award growth strategy. We've got big targets, okay, big targets. And I'm basing them on gold, silver, and bronze. So gold being, I would absolutely love, it would be amazing if we got 1,000 entries. Big, audacious, hairy target. Silver, 750 entries. And bronze is 500 entries. Again, still a big goal, because based on most awards that I've been doing some research into, usually within the children's activity space, for example, you're probably looking at like 250 entries. So, as you know, I like to set myself a big goal, a big target, and then I reverse engineer how I'm going to make that happen, how we're going to make that goal achievable. So like I said, hope is not a strategy. Like, we're not going to hope people are going to apply. We're going to go out there and get those entries. So I'm using Alex Hormozi's Core 4 method. I teach this to my strategists, and I teach it in different versions through Market Like a Pop Star, etc. Like what's relevant for the audience. But we're going all in. Core 4. Okay. Post free content. So that's going to be one of the strategies. We're going to post a lot of free content. Second run paid ads. And I've already started recording the paid ads, the talking head ones, for different niches. For example, tutors, fitness, studios, children's activity providers, etc. We're going to do warm outreach. So we're going to reach out to people that we already know, who we think would be a good fit for the awards, and we're going to do cold outreach. And so this will be to people like who follow us on Instagram, who may not obviously actively engage in our content already. Or what I find is, whenever I run paid ads, we get a massive surge of followers. So I will connect with them and start conversations with them. So, core 4. That's what we need to think about first. Are you going to post free content? Are you going to run paid ads? Are you going to do personal outreach to people you know? And are you going to do cold outreach? So while I walk to the top of this hill, I'm going to take a little wee break, and then I'll come back to you with the next phase. Made it to the top of the hill. So, as you know, I am going all in on content creation this year. Long form content through the Class Business podcast, and then breaking it all down into smaller pieces of content, which I already showed you in one of the previous vlogs. And that is the strategy for the free content. So we're using many distribution platforms to get the message out there. So let's go. So we have our Facebook page, our business pages, Facebook and Instagram. We've got my personal Facebook page. We've got my LinkedIn account. We've got TikTok. And we've also got my personal brand Instagram account. Now, between those accounts, 5,000, 6,000 people already there in the audience. So first of all, strategy is post free content. And we are really, like in the past for the last 15, all the years that I've been in business, I've always posted consistently twice a day. Not this year, my friends. No. We're trying to double it. We're literally going all in. So you'll see status posts, asking questions, posts with images, reels, lives, long form content, articles. So we're turning up the volume, doubling the amount of content. Now, what's really, really interesting is last year we hit, I think, over 1 million views just on my Facebook business page. Over 1 million views. I want to double that this year. Instagram, I think we hit around 250,000. So it's interesting, you can see where I enjoy spending my time on the old book face. But we're measuring everything this year so we can see what's working, what's not working, what's going to get us more reach. So the strategy is we are posting free content across as many distribution platforms as possible to raise awareness about the Class Business Awards and to get to people to tell them about the awards so they can enter. Now, the caveat is for you guys, you need to think about where do your people hang out? Because obviously you're not going to do what I'm doing because it's just going to stretch you way too much and you don't need to. But I know where my audiences hang out and I know where we can get seen. So the strategy is post across all the distribution channels that we possibly can, get the message out there, use free content to do that. So let me head round the corner and then I'm going to tell you the paid ad strategy. Right, thought I had a little pit stop here to tell you about paid ads. Okay, so what we're going to do is run a series of paid ads. To bring awareness, first of all, so to tell people about the awards. So that advert will literally, like I said, just be an awareness advert. Then, and we'll drive traffic to the landing page, and that landing page is collecting all the data through the pixel, and then we will run retargeting ads to get people to actually apply. But what we'll do is we'll evaluate all the content that we're putting out there, and we'll look at which ones are performing best, and we will use those as the paid ads. So that is using existing content that's already performed well organically, and we will push it through paid ads to get it out to more audiences. As well as me doing the old talking head videos, stop the scroll type adverts to grab people's attention. So the paid ad strategy is all about driving traffic to the landing page so we can collect the data through the pixel so we can retarget them with our adverts. So I'm excited to see how this one actually works, because usually I run paid adverts for my free events and obviously they run really, really well and they've always been successful. But now obviously we're driving traffic for a paid opportunity. We'll see how these ads perform. I will run a series of tests from existing content, through talking heads, through static images, etc., to see which ones perform best, which one's my unicorn, and whichever one is the unicorn one, I will put more budget behind it. So paid ads
is a great way to get you in front of your audience. You've just got to learn how to run them, my friends. And that is the tricky part. It's not tricky. It's quite easy to do, but you've got to be willing to go to the casino and lose some money. Not everyone's willing to do that. I am, because remember the target. 1,000, 750, 500. And it's not going to come just by doing organic. Right. Next stop, I'm going to talk to you about how we're going to leverage our current audience to go and find us more people to tell them about the awards through personal outreach. Okay, so warm outreach. So this is the one that business owners massively underuse. Not on my watch, because that's not going to happen. So we have an email list of over 5,000 activity providers already. So my first job will be to download that whole email list, sort it in alphabetical order, and yes, my friends, I will be working through that email list and we'll be speaking to every single person over the next 8 weeks to tell them about the Class Business Awards. I'm also, for the last 2 years, have been collecting numbers in WhatsApp. If you're not using WhatsApp marketing, then I don't know if you've been living under a rock somewhere. You need to get on it, collecting numbers. I've been collecting numbers for 2 years, and so I have a whole stack of contacts in my mobile phone. And I love speaking to people, because this is actually where the sales come from, having these conversations with individuals. I love speaking to people. So I will be outreaching to everyone in my contacts. I'll be getting out my mobile phone, going through all the contacts, and I'll probably voice note everyone, because I love chatting with people that way, because I feel like it just gets a better connection than you sending like a standard copy and paste message. And because I know people individually, like literally I just had come off of a judge interview, and the lady was like, oh, I'm working with this business owner. I said, who is it? She told me the name of the business. I was like, I know them. And she told me it was. I said, yes, I know them. You need to tell them to apply. And that is the great thing. I'm really good at remembering all the people I work with, because I get to know people on a personal level. So we will be doing that. We also use ManyChat. ManyChat is a tool that we use across Instagram, and we've used it in the past for running our text alerts and all that. Again, we've got over 200-300 numbers in there, so I will be using text alerts to get people to tell them about the awards. The next layer we will look at is our business club members. We've got over 120 business club members, and so I will be speaking to all of them individually to tell them about the awards. And then the next lot of people I'll be layering on is our business strategists. So we've just had a group of business strategists who have all graduated, and so I'm going to speak to them and ask them to tell other people about the Class Business Awards. Now, I've also got a free Facebook group that has 800 plus members in. So we're going to be getting in touch with those people as well. And we'll look at all the people that have done our programs in the past and speak to those. Now, this is the thing that most business owners won't do. Go and dig in to your contacts that you've got in the business from the last 6 months. I'm going back, I'm like doing the 4 years. There is no stone going to be left unturned for this launch. I have 8 weeks to get the goal, 1,000 entries. And that is just with my audience. The next part will be leveraging our sponsor partners, our judges, and getting them involved in the process as well. So what I'm going to dive into on the next point of the stop is cold outreach. But before I do that, let me just show you where we are. Look at that stunning view. So we've made it to the top of my walk. There's like a little hill, and there's a lovely little bench that you can sit on here. And this is the view from it. It's absolutely perfect. Cold outreach. This one will probably give like some of you the ick, because you're like, oh God, cold outreach, I don't want to do that. But it doesn't have to feel icky. So what you're going to see from the next 8 weeks is I'm going to be doing cold outreach. So what do I mean by that? I am going to be on Instagram, on Facebook. I am going to be commenting on anybody's post that I see, any provider that runs a Class Business Owner that I think is a good fit for the awards. I'm going to be commenting on their content and telling them and encouraging them to apply for the awards. So I did a round of this last night, and what's really interesting, so you can do this yourself. I timed myself to see how many posts, like how many comments can I put on people's posts. And I think I outreached to maybe 25 people last night in about 45 minutes. Because you don't want to just like be commenting with anything. You do need to actually think about what you're actually going to comment with. And obviously some of these business owners I know, and some of these business owners I don't know. So you have to think about that. Like, you don't just spam them, okay? No, spamming's not cool, my friends. But what we will be doing is messaging people, DMing them, telling them about the awards. Now, we'll also be using our sponsor partners to get them to tell their audience. Now, we have amazing sponsor partners that have come on board, from Book That In to Love Admin to the National College for Care and Education. Like, all these partners have been strategically picked, like selected, because we know that they already serve some of the audience that we're looking to bring into the awards. So again, think about when you're launching a product or service, like who can you collaborate with and who can help you get you in front of the audience. So we've selected those people very carefully because we want to make sure that they do the job for us. Like, we want them promoting the awards. And so they had to be aligned with our values and our mission. And then we've got the judges. Now, we have recruited a team of like 20 judges. And again, we have selected those people based on their business experience, based on who they're connected to. Have they got an audience? Can they get us in front of more people? Now, we will be asking them to promote the awards. Now, they'll be doing it through different ways, because we have been interviewing all our partner sponsors and we've been interviewing all the judges. So again, it will revert back to the free content. We have given them the tools, the assets and everything else so they can post on their socials. So we are leveraging them. And that's what I want you to think about in your business. How can you leverage people, your raving fans, your super customers, to help you get more people for your events, for your classes, for your programs, workshops, whatever it is that you're looking to fill. And obviously we'll also connect with people in the industry who we know who will champion what we do. And so it's all about cold outreach, is like speaking to people though that you don't usually obviously know, but obviously getting them to, like, people we do know, to get in front of people that we don't know, if that makes sense. So you'll do it in different ways. Like, you may post into free groups and ask them, I'm looking for babies, or I'm looking for kids of this age. And then you get people like poking their heads up, like commenting. Then you'll be messaging them. That's cold outreach. And so that's the strategy that we'll be using: paid ads, free content, warm outreach, and cold outreach. And again, just think about it. It's not about spamming people, because we're not here to do that, my friends. We're here to build visibility, start conversations, and tell them about the opportunity to enter the Class Business Awards. Let's talk about targets. Because if you don't have a target, the road ahead, even though it can look very, very beautiful, can feel long and hard. And as human beings, we need targets. We need like the adrenaline. We need those dopamine hits. We need to have a goal so we know what we're working towards. So I talked about the targets. We are looking for, 1,000 would be absolutely amazing, and I'll be literally jumping for joy if we hit that goal. 750 and 500. So whenever I decide I'm going to launch a product, a service, a program, and I advise you do the exact same, you think about what the target is, because you need to reverse engineer what you need to do in order to hit the target. Hence, going back to the strategy that I've just been outlining. Now, I love to see it visually. Again, you need to have a visual on these things. I love like the old concept of Blue Peter. Do you remember that? The Blue Peter series, if you're as old as me, you will, where they used to have like the charity events that used to run, and then you had the thermometer, and obviously all the money was going in, and each week it would go up. I like to have that on the go, or a sales tracker, whatever is easy for you to follow. But I love to see a visual because there's nothing better than seeing the visual going up. And obviously as an incentive to get you moving forward. So you'll see me do it. I've done this with clients where I'm like, show me the tracker because I want to know what the scores on the doors are. And it's because I want people to think about the goal. And so I'll get them to do that. You've seen me in launches where I've put post-it notes behind me with everyone's name on. I think I might do that. Maybe that's what I need to get on the go. The post-it notes of everyone that enters, their name goes on the board. So I like to see it visually because when you see it visually, it gives you a kick up the backside to go and take the action you need to take for today. And the second thing is it just helps you move towards hitting that goal. And so targets, 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 my friends. If you're not setting them, then I highly recommend you do. And don't be frightened because obviously every time, like I get someone else that enters, I'm like, yes, it's one more person closer for me to hit the goal. Plus one more person that's in with a chance for me to interview them. One more person that could be a finalist in these awards. And so use them as incentives to get you to do the things. Use them as a mechanism to help you grow your business. Targets, my friend, are so important. So this is what building a platform actually looks like. It's not glamorous, my friends. It's all about being disciplined, and visibility isn't something that you can just do once. It's something that you actually have to commit to. And you're going to be seeing me market like an absolute pop star over the next 8 weeks. You have to market like you actually mean it. And it's only when you're actually sick of talking about it, you may have done enough. So the next time you launch, don't just hope it's all gonna happen. Execute the strategy that you've built out. And if you're thinking about launching something this year, be it classes, programs, events, workshops, whatever it is, digital product, ask yourself, who am I speaking to every single day? Like, where am I going to get visible? Where am I going to show up? Who can I leverage to help me get more people into my world? And what's my targets? So I don't just bob along, because this is the bit that separates people running a hobby business to a scalable national business. And if that's you, then make sure you figure out the strategy before you launch it. So that's why in March, it's time to get back out there, my friends. So basically March is going to be a big, massive visibility month for the Class Business Awards. So I am heading to England. So excited about this. February, we were in Edinburgh with the Adventures of Marketing hosting the mastermind table. Didn't see that vlog? Go and check it out. There were some great speakers there. But we're heading down to England because I am going to the big festoon. And I cannot wait to see this event. This is a 2-day event with Danny Wallace. If you don't know who she is, Queen Bee, go and check her out. I can't wait because this is going to be some production. And that's what I'm going for. I'm going to champion the Class Business Awards. I am going to talk to as many people as possible. I am going to get the nomination cards out to tell everyone to go nominate people. But I'm going to see the guest speakers because I'm looking for amazing, incredible guest speakers for the Class Business Awards event. I am going to see what the production's like. I want to know what the experience feels like, what it looks like from the moment I walk in the room. So I'm so excited about going to that event. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Then I am heading to the National Photography and Video Show at the NEC Arena. And I'm going to that because obviously we're recording a lot more content this year. We're doing more photography, more video content, and content in general. So I'm going to see what that's all about, check that out, see what tips and tricks I can get. Then I am heading back down to London. So I'm staying in England, heading back down to London because the big festoon's in Manchester, photography show in Birmingham. Then heading back down to London because I'm attending an event that Shah Wasmond is hosting with a guy called Dan. It's like a mastermind day. Now, I've been following Shah probably for the last 3 years or so. She is an incredible business owner, and she doesn't usually put out many events. So it's a small event, I think maybe 50 to 100 people, where they're just talking about what's going on in business right now. I was just really intrigued, so I thought, right, I'm going to get my ticket and then I'll decide if I'm going or not. But the ticket is purchased, so and I'm looking to go. So are we there? Then we're back to the Highlands because we are hosting my Highlands business retreat. So can't wait to see everyone there, and hopefully glorious weather will stay like this and they'll get to experience the magic of the Highlands. And then we're back down to Birmingham because I'm going to the ICAP conference day, and that is specifically for children's activity providers. So this month I'm going all in on events because I want to get into rooms, okay? Because when we're in the rooms, we can speak to people, we show up, we connect, we champion, and that's when you can grow really, really big. And because we want entries, partnership sponsors, we don't sit at home, my friends. So I want you to think about, if you are organising your own events and your sessions and everything else, what are you doing to get yourself out there? What are you doing? So the doors, are officially open to the Class Business Awards. The real work actually starts now. And if you're thinking and you're watching this and you're thinking about your own launches, your own classes, your own offers, don't ask, how do I launch? Ask, how am I going to grow this thing? Like, how am I going to actually get it off the ground? How am I going to bring people into my world? And so I'm off now to finish off the walk, enjoy the rest of the beautiful sunshine this evening, but I'll see you in Birmingham next. Yeah, you'll see us at the big festoon. See you soon, my friends.